I've officially posted 1,000 times on Instagram, and in this video, I want to teach you guys the 4 major things that I learned as I grew to become a full-time social media content creator. As a photographer and videographer on Instagram, I decided to niche down into the automotive photography and videography space. 999 posts later, we have built an incredible community on Instagram. We have over 110,000 subscribers here on YouTube, which has earned me the silver play button. So I hope some of this information you guys will see as valid as you try and grow your own business in whatever niche you decide to grow as well. Tip number 1, and something that I would tell someone who's one step behind me or a few steps behind me when they're building their Instagram portfolio, and that is choose something that you're passionate about and pursue that. As a photographer and videographer, I found out that cars absolutely lit me up. When you hear the exhaust or something drive by, or you actually get to feel the visceral drive when you're inside those cars, it just got me so excited. And so for me, taking photos and videos of cars was a natural win. And so every time I had the opportunity to shoot a car, I just had a ton of joy doing it. And so building my brand on that was actually quite easy and quite natural. If you can bottle up that feeling or that excitement into a photo or a video as a content creator and post that on Instagram, that is what people will follow. If you're passionate about something other people are passionate about and you can post it, then I think that is what's gonna get the likes, the clicks, and maybe the follow. Now, when we get to point 4, I'm gonna talk about this a little bit more, but something that I chose to do is not obsess over daily posting. Just because someone like Alex Hormozy says you have to post 1,000 pieces of content every week, well, to be honest, that's not a reality for most of us. So find a schedule that's happy for you. I personally decided not to focus on that posting every day because I'd rather focus on my happiness and health, my family, and my friends. This equated in a slower growth over time, but in the end, again, when we get to point 4, it actually worked out better. Again, if it's something that brings you joy, you'll naturally want to do it. But as creatives, sometimes we work in these ebbs and flows, and so don't stress about it. Don't push yourself too hard. At the end of the day, it's just Instagram. And to that point, tip number 2, building a brand takes time. So what I highly recommend is that you take the appropriate time needed and make sure that you find your unique voice and your unique style. That's what people are gonna follow. I see people in the automotive niche all the time taking a picture of a Porsche, posting a picture of a Porsche, and saying, this is a Porsche 911. In today's culture, you can't just say that. I think what is best for someone like you and what I've chosen to do is actually build a brand beside that and put my own unique spin, my own unique voice on what was that experience like for me? What was it like shooting that Porsche 911? What did I learn while shooting that Porsche 911? So if you can add your unique spin, your unique voice in whatever niche you're shooting, and even add your face if you feel comfortable doing that, then people can tie themselves to you and your brand, not just another picture of a Porsche. I think that people connect with perspective, not just information. So how can you add your particular perspective, your voice, your humor, your way of telling things? Because at the end of the day, you're not just building a feed, you're building relationships with human beings on the other end of that screen. And I think it's really crucial to add your own voice to that conversation. Tip number 3, I think is really important, specifically if you're wanting to work with brands in the future and make money as someone who posts on Instagram and social media. Think about your Instagram feed like a modern day business card. This is so important to curate your profile in such a way that in the first, 3 to 10 seconds, someone knows exactly who you are, what you do, and why you do it. Every brand or every person that follows you wants to know what kind of content they're going to get. So it's incredibly important to curate those top few posts, or really every post, in terms of who you want to be and what you want to do in that space. If you're posting random content, that can kind of confuse people, but if you're curating intentional content, that can actually convert to opportunities with brands who know exactly what they're going to get from you. Realistically, any brand that's going to work with you is going to be checking your social media profiles. They're going to be checking the stats behind it. So be authentic, be yourself, curate that business card as best as you can so that people know exactly what they're going to get if they're going to click follow and if brands are going to work with you. Now, as photographers and videographers, how we present ourselves is incredibly important. So that's why the sponsor of today's video is PicTime, because they have given us an incredible tool to present ourselves in a much more professional way than I ever have before. Now, for the longest time, I was delivering client photos through Dropbox or Google Drive. What I've realized is that I'm leaving a ton of money on the table and professionalism at the door. When PicTime reached out to sponsor this channel, I realized that I've been missing out on a huge opportunity. PicTime gives you the opportunity to curate your deliverables. They're extremely easy to create stunning layouts so that you can upload all your photos and your videos and curate exactly how they look before you send them to your clients. This to me is a hugely elevated experience as someone who gets paid to do client work for, individuals that have beautiful cars or brands. But this way, it's so much more clean and beautiful to say, here's your photos, I've curated them for you. You can view them on mobile, you can view them on desktop, and here's the best part as photographers, you can sell those prints. There's over 30 plus locations around North America that you can get your photos printed, packaged, and delivered without you having to do anything. So when you deliver your beautiful curated gallery on PicTime, they can also purchase those pictures online without you having to lift a finger. Right now, PicTime is doing a Black Friday sale, so you can get 30% off your subscription. As well, if you're using another platform, you can bring over 200 galleries over to PicTime for free. So if you're looking to elevate the way that you deliver your content to your clients, this is a great time to do it. Or if you're on a different platform and want to migrate, again, this is the best opportunity to do it. So definitely take advantage of their Black Friday sale. I'll leave all the links for you guys down in the description. Thank you, PicTime, for not only elevating my work and my deliverables, but for sponsoring this video and this channel. It means a lot. Tip number 4 is all about using trends on Instagram, because if you've been on Instagram for any amount of time, you know that there's ebbs and flows with what works and what doesn't work with reaching people on Instagram. The way that I've chosen to view trends on Instagram is that they're a great way to increase visibility, but they're not a great long-term strategy. If you think about it like riding a wave, you can ride that wave all you want, but at the end of the day, that wave's gonna end, so it's not necessarily the best foundation to build your brand on. People may find you because of your trendy, clicky video, but they're gonna stay, they're gonna follow because of your identity, your consistency, and who you are on Instagram. So those 4 tips will help you build a really good foundation for your Instagram. For me, building this community has been one of the most rewarding things that I've ever done. Being able to be a full-time content creator here on YouTube, but also on Instagram, has been just an incredible journey. So I hope that as you look to build your Instagram channels, to build your influence, and maybe even make this into a career, that you can find these tips helpful moving forward. I honestly couldn't have done this alone. I couldn't have done it without my community. That's you on the other end, because you guys are why I'm able to do this full time. And I'll never, ever forget that, because I'm just a guy on this side of the camera lens, and if you weren't there watching, I would have nothing. So thank you. Thank you to the people that have continued to be a part of this community, that have come along on my journey and our journey together, because we're learning together. It's a great time. So thank you. So what's next for the next 1,000 posts? Well, stay tuned to find out. Make sure to subscribe. If you want to be a part of the car creative community, there's a link down below where you can connect with me on a deeper level, and content creators that are like us, that love shooting cars, that love cameras, that love to learn. So go join the community down below. We'd love to have you. It's a good time in there. So thanks so much for watching. If you did get something out of this video, consider hitting the like button. I think there's even a hype button now on YouTube. If you see that, hype this video up. That'd be sweet. I really do hope I'll see you guys in the next video. Consider subscribing to the channel here, or you could watch that video there. And I do hope I'll see you in the next one.